Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Thursday, October 27th. It is 6:20 right now. Market's going to open in about 10 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and set this room real quick and we'll get started with our analysis shortly. Just give me a few moments to finish setting this up and we should be good to go. All right, so a couple more things here to update real quick. It's good. All right. Everything looks good to go right here. Let me finish setting this up. And I think we're set. So let me just get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium. And I'll give it a few moments for people to make their way in. All right, so as people make their way in, I'm going to go ahead and mark up the SR zones over here. Looks good. All right, so let me go make some adjustments here with these zones that are a bit wider. I think this one's fine. It's a little wider. This one as well. This one over here. This one as well. And I think we are good to go. So with that said, we have all the zones here marked up for any SR rejection entries. Market's going to open in about a few minutes. See who's here so far. Morning, Kenny. Morning, Peter. Morning, Søren. Morning, everybody. Just a reminder, today is Thursday, October 27th. It is 6:23 right now. Market's going to open in about 7 minutes. As people continue to join in, I'm going to go ahead and mark up the overall direction over here. So looking at this over here, retail sentiment is currently 67% short. This indicates that 67% of retail traders are currently selling right now. So we typically want to do the opposite and buy. So we're probably going to be looking for buys today. So 67% short. Fundamentals are currently at 372 points in the green, plus 372 points. 4-hour trend is currently bullish. 1-hour trend is currently bullish. 30-minute trend bullish as well. I'm pretty sure the 15 is bullish, 10-minute is bullish, and 1 minute is bullish as well. So we have a very strong bullish bias today, guys, for the breakout. If it's bullish, that's probably the direction to take the trade if you guys do decide to take it. Maybe I'll take a partial move of it, but we'll see when the market opens shortly. Other than that, let's see if there's anything else here that I'm missing. I don't really see anything on my end. So I think we are pretty much good to go for the most part. So, all right, guys, market is going to open in about 5 minutes. Let's see who else is here. Morning, Stern. Morning, Patricia. Morning, Slava. Morning, everybody. So it looks like people are still making their way in. But for the most part, everything here is very bullish. As you guys can see, retail sentiment is 67% short. Fundamentals are currently 372 points in the green. 4-hour, 1-hour, 30-minute, 15-minute, and 10-minute are all bullish. So we're definitely looking for buys today. We'll see what the market has to give us, but looks like for the most part, price may retrace down a little bit and then come back up. The only problem right here is, if you guys decide to take a breakout, is that there is a lot of sessions right here. There's a session above here, so it might be impossible to take a buy. If price does break through around that area, or if price comes below here as well. A lot of sessions, so we'll see where the market takes us. Hopefully price pushes above this upper session and provides some opportunity to stay above this area before market open, so we can look for some entries there. Let me take a look at the news over here to see if there's any news that we missed for today. Today on the 27th, we had some pre-market news right here at 5:30. A lot of high impact news. It's basically mixed, positive, negative. So let's mark that up over here. 5:30. Right over the pink line right here is 5:30 US news. And then we have some more news coming up at 7:30, and that's about it. Natural gas storage. 7:30. All right, cool. Looks like we're good to go. Market is opening in about 3 minutes, guys. So once market opens over here, I'm going to go and mark up market structure over here as well on the clean chart so that you guys can see what the market is currently doing and what you should be expected to apply. So all I do is mark up these high lows right here. And after marking this up, you guys can see that price is in a big range right now, right? It might have been hard to see earlier, but you guys can see now it's actually in a really big range right here. So there's not really too much going on. It's a big range. So with price ranging like this, you typically want to apply the K2SR rejection scalp. It is ranging. It's still kind of moving a bit. So you could probably apply some high-low quick scalp. So for the most part, price is in a heavy range. So, obviously you want to look for the SR rejection scalps. But as we continue to move along, we'll see where price goes. But as you guys can see, price is in a range. You probably couldn't tell that right here because it looks like price is very bullish. And that's why it's important that you guys identify, where price is actually going, because it looks like price is bullish here. It probably is bullish like long-term because we do have a bullish overall bias here. However, on the short term right here, you can see that price realistically is just going sideways. So it might have been bullish for a while, but prior to price moving bullish like that, it actually broke into a range. So price was bullish for a while, basically like middle of London up until now, about 3 hours ago. And then it went from bullish to now in a range. So it was pushing up and now it's going sideways. And that's why it's important that you guys identify market structure, because you could easily be tricked into thinking that you can easily take buys here and it's just going to keep working, right? It's not the case. Because right here is a huge retracement. Price actually started retracing from up here. It's currently down 1,320 pips, so it's down pretty heavy from this high. Anyways, market is opening in about 10 seconds, guys. When the market opens, we'll see where price goes. Obviously, our long-term direction is going to be bullish. However, there's a zone, or there's a session right here. So huge red flag, if and when price gets to that point. Hey, Patrick, morning. Morning, Matt. Morning, Rashida. Morning, everybody. So market is now open, guys. I'm going to mark up opening price right here. So this right here is going to be New York open price. All right, so we'll see where price goes from here. If price closes as a strong green candle with a buy signal, this would technically be the breakout. Again, I'm not taking the trade because, as I mentioned, it's right at the sessions right here. So I personally won't be taking the trade. I'll mark it up for you guys if you guys want to follow it, chase it down. But for the most part, I'm going to hold off for a bit and wait for the market to stabilize. So you're basically looking for a strong green candle with a buy signal right here. If you get that, great. Price will probably keep pushing up. And we'll see where it goes from here. So I'm not taking the trade here. I'm just marking up the breakout, guys, but I'm not taking it myself. Okay, just FYI, so you guys are aware. Super volatile right here. But again, guys, yeah, I'm not taking it because of the sessions right here. This candle right here got caught at the sessions. So this makes it a bit of a risky trade. Let's see what I'm looking for over here. So we got another zone up here. I'm going to mark this up. Just again, if you guys are just joining the room, I'm not in the breakout right now. I'm just marking it up for you guys. It's too risky. It's right at the session. So if there's no sessions there, I'd probably be inclined to take it, but not at where it's currently at. There's a possible SR rejection scalp over here, though. The candle's not too big. Candle's obviously too big. So there's no SR rejection scalp there. There should have been one right here, but this candle is just way too big. There we go. The breakout looks like it's about to hit full TP. So if you guys took it, great. And I'll just try to reanalyze it there real quick if and when it does hit, or I'll break it down for you guys. And I'm going to tell you the reason why I decided not to take it. I'm going to go and mark this up right here. So you can see how the breakout is kind of moving around a bit erratic. So I got that marked up right there. So this right here is the breakout. Reason for it being the breakout is that the overall bias here was bullish. Retail sentiment was 67% short. Fundamentals were up 300 points, 4-hour, 1-hour, 30-minute, 15-minute, and 10-minute were all bullish. Right here on the opening candle, we had a strong green candle with a bullish momentum signal. So this would satisfy the requirements for the breakout, right? The reason why I decided not to take the breakout was because it was breaking through the sessions right here, making an area of manipulation, right? Because this could have easily came back down, which it did. Price came up, faked out, came back down, and then now it's going right back up to where it's supposed to go, right? It's too risky of a move for me to take, especially for a big move like this. I wouldn't want this eat into my margin as we continue on with the morning session. So main reason why I didn't take the trade there, but as you can see, it's probably going to push up and hit TP, which is great, but I'm not looking to take it. And I'm not, I'm still not like convinced to take the breakout just yet. Like, I know we've been waiting for it and following it, but the market just isn't really there yet with regard to consistency, right? It's kind of just going back and forth still. So again, the breakout is still currently running. However, we're only applying 4 strategies right now. We're applying the variation V1, V1 continuation, SR rejection scalp, and the high-low quick scalp. So we don't have any of those entries right here at the moment. We are still following through to see if we can find anything here as price continues to, obviously bounce around. So the breakout still hasn't hit. Still kind of bouncing around at the moment. And there you go, full TP off the breakout. So if you guys take the breakout, great work. Hit your full TP. Did kind of bounce around a little bit, scoot around as it pulled back right here. And that was expected. Main reason why we kind of anticipated price to move like this was because of the sessions right here. This is why we avoid trades at the sessions. The trades still typically hit, even when they break through the sessions or if they touch them. But the problem here is that you get a lot of this mixed volatility. You get price come up, come down, come up, and then eventually it comes right back up and blasts right through the TP. So there goes a breakout right there. I'll post it in the group just to document it. So we're not taking these trades and they're not going to count as official trades, but I'm just marking them up here so that you guys can see and follow, you know, if you guys do decide to take the breakouts in future sessions. So US30 breakout entry, full TP. Session. So let's mark it up right there so that you guys can follow. I know some of you guys are waiting to decide, you know, whether you want to take the trade or not. But I think the past couple have been hitting. I don't know if the one from yesterday hit, but the past couple ones have been hitting. Actually, we didn't have one yesterday because there was no overall bias. But whenever there's an overall bias like this, typically it'll hit. So that's like the time where I would take it. It's just, it was right at the session, so it's not one that I personally would want to take myself. So a couple profits over here from Dejan. Dejan's currently up 21 right now off this account. Nice work, Dejan. Looks like he took a partial move off the breakout. And then we also got Tasha over here as well. Currently up 1,369 for the day. Nice work, Tasha. All right, so some more solid work right there from Tasha. And I think that's about it for right now. So if you guys have more profits to post up, you know, feel free to post them up. Otherwise, we'll be looking for other trades here as we move along with the session for today. Possible SR rejection scalp right here. However, I think the candle is too big, or it will be too big. So this is as far as it can go. Obviously, the candle here is just a little too far off. Wick rejection off structure, bullish momentum, bullish trend meter. The criteria here is met for an SR rejection scalp, but this candle here is just a little too big. So this is as far as it can go. And the stop loss would end up being a little too wide. So no entry right there for the SR rejection scalp. Yeah, so this would have been the SR rejection scalp. However, the wick on top is too big. So it does not fit the criteria for a moderate green candle. Yeah, the wick on top is about 70 pips. The body's only like 30 pips. But if it was a solid candle, this would have been full TP right there. So a bit of a choppy market today, or not really choppy, but blocky market, right? Choppy is kind of when it's just going back and forth. Blocky is like when you have these big spikes, not spikes, but big movements in price. Like it'll go up between like, you know, 100 pips or so. This candle right here is about 370 pips, kind of a little too big. The zone right there. So another opportunity here to possibly catch a SR rejection scalp, but I think again right here the candle might be a little too big. Actually, this would have fit the criteria. It's a little too late for me to enter though. Let's see. I mean, like barely fit the criteria right there. Kind of hard to tell when this candle closed. I'm not in this position though. So as you guys can see, up here the market's moving a little tricky. So you want to be a bit careful. I did enter this trade right here. The last few seconds of the candle were kind of bouncing around a bit. So I wasn't able to really confirm whether price was going to close where I needed it to. So whenever we take these SR rejection scalps, guys, at the last 10 seconds, if you guys don't have the countdown on your chart, the countdown's right here on the right side, right where the candle's at. Typically, you want to wait until like the last 10 seconds, right? You have about 60 seconds from when the candle opens until it closes. At the last 10 seconds, if it already doesn't look like a solid candle, then you for sure don't want to take it. You just want to skip it. This here would technically be an actual entry for an SR rejection scalp, but I didn't see how it was moving, and that's the reason why I didn't decide to take it. So as you can see, it is moving kind of weird, and this would have hit stop loss. So good thing that we didn't take it. And you can see how this candle here moved blocky. You can see this candle opened, and then the first 10 seconds price was up here. All of a sudden, it dumped the full 300 pips. So you might want to be careful in the market right now and wait for this to stabilize, because right now the market's moving way too blocky. You can see each candle here is moving at least. So this candle just spiked down about almost 500 pips within like a few seconds. So I'm going to probably sit out the market for a little bit, wait for this to smoothen out. If I see anything good here, I'll let you guys know, because I'm going to take it myself. But at the moment, I'm probably going to sit out for a little bit, because the thing is, our stop loss is kind of tight. It's set at 300 pips. And if each candle is like blocking down, you know, like 300 or more pips, it can easily just spike to your stop loss before it actually hits your TP. So I probably recommend sitting tight for a little bit, guys, and just wait for this to smoothen out and for it to calm down a little bit, because the market is moving a little too fast for these moves here. So no entry right now. Let's see. Charlie said his trading view is lagging. Yeah, it kind of looks like it is lagging a little bit right here. Well, you know, I think the problem right now is it's not just trading view, it's just the data is lagging in general. Because I'm looking over here at MT4 and it's doing the same thing. It's blocking up and down. So if you guys are looking at MT4 right now, price is just spiking around like super like fast. So I don't think it's MT4 by itself. I mean, it's not just trading view, but they're both kind of just bouncing around a lot, because there's just price is moving too fast. Like every second price moves like at least like 200 or 300 pips. So this is what I mean about blocky movements. Like every second here, see where price is currently at. This is a 200 pip move, right? So every couple of seconds, price will just spike up 200 pips or spike down 200 pips. It's not like a smooth like push up or a smooth push down. It's kind of just blocky bumps up and down. So the problem with that is that TradingView here is mirroring whatever's going on like MT4, but I'm seeing the same thing on MT4 too. So you might want to be careful. I mean, there's a lot of red flags here. Red flag prices went blocky. Also, it's lagging. Also, there's just so many things here that's causing it to make your trade like a lot of it creates a lot of uncertainty in the market. So I'm gonna wait for this to play out. Yeah, Maddie said there was a high-low quick scalp that's running, but he didn't take it. Yeah, I wouldn't have taken it either. I mean, there's one. Yeah, you're right. There's one right here. This was technically a high-low quick scalp, but again, I'm not taking the entries right now because it's just moving too fast. The last thing I want to do is enter a trade too late, like a few seconds late, and then it blasts to my stop loss, or if it blasts to my TP and I'm not in the position, and then it spikes right back down to stop loss, right? So I'm just gonna sit tight right now, guys, and wait for this to smoothen out. Let me go over here to the clean chart, update the structures here, so that we have an idea as to like where price is currently going. But yeah, the last thing I'm going to do is enter a trade while the market is kind of laggy or it's freezing up, because you might get stuck in a position. Spreads at 180, so it's not horrible right now, but it's could be tighter due to the movement in the market. So price is still ranging right here. Just went into a tighter range right here. As you guys can see, price has been ranging for about 12 minutes, give or take. Not a lot, but it is still technically in a range at the moment. All right. What a weird market today. Let me see the news from today. So today we had advanced GDP. I guess because we have a lot of this high impact news today. We also have earnings being released today as well for a lot of big stocks. So with the news today, I mean, all this stuff happened at 5:30, so it was quite a bit of time ago. Looking over here at my FX book, let me refresh this. Yeah, everything happened about an hour ago. So, I mean, if there's anything here reacting to the news, it would have been a super, super late reaction. But it looks like the market is kind of calming down a bit. Again, right here, here's an SR rejection scalp, like a quick scalp, but I'm not looking to take it just yet because price is still moving very blocky right here. Once it starts to smoothen out, we'll start looking for some more entries. But I think for right now, probably best time to just sit out. If you also want to make sure that trading view is also not lagging, because the last thing you want to do is enter a trade and then it freezes on one candle, and then you try to enter, and then as soon as it comes back up, price is like way down here. But I don't think it's freezing. It's just kind of laggy, like with what see a couple people mentioned. Peter said it's laggy. Stern said it's laggy. Charlie said it's laggy. Rashida said her MC4 is lagging. She said her copier didn't copy the last trade, which is weird because typically it. Hey Rashida, for that trade, your main account copied it though, right? Or your main account took it. It was just your copier that didn't take it. Okay, gotcha. Thanks for the confirmation. So that's kind of weird because I typically don't see that too often, where your main account will take it, but your copier won't. I mean, it just might be in general. Like if you guys get a lot of those things happening, and they're happening to different people, it's usually a straight sign to just sit out the market for a little bit. It's only 6:46 anyways. Market just opened, so we still have more than an hour left for trades. So I'm just gonna wait for a bit. Yeah, Natasha said she had some issues pre-market too. All right, that's good to know. So it just looks like the market in general today is kind of all over the place. You're gonna get some like black swan events like this where like the markets just in general is gonna move kind of weird. Typically a lot of this stuff happens like during NFP or like big news events. I mean, I guess today we did have some big news events at 5:30, but I would have expected, the market to kind of smoothen out by now. We had unemployment claims, durable good orders, core durable good orders, advanced GDP price index, and advanced GDP. So a lot of this stuff over here basically is going to have an impact on like our analysis of the upcoming recession and inflation news, right? Because unemployment claims that people are getting laid off, the economy's not doing good. Sales are low right here. That means the economy isn't doing good, right? GDP, same thing for the world economy. So, yeah, Maddie also mentioned it's the last week of the month too. Yeah, that's something that you guys will notice sometimes. The last month or the last week of each month, you typically will see markets to start to move similar to like NFP week, right? It's just a lot of stuff going on. Thanks, Peter, for this too. And then Peter also sent me this link right here with Yellen actually speaking today. So, yeah, so it says Janet Yellen, Senator Brown highlights Biden's team's efforts on US manufacturing. So she's going to speak in about 10 minutes. You're probably going to see the market move a bit crazy again right here. If you guys are not familiar with Janet Yellen, she's basically like Powell, except she's big on regulation. Dejan says she looks like a doggy with a wig on. And Rashida also mentioned there's a gap. So there's a gap in price right here. As you guys, so we are correct with like TradingView being a bit laggy. You can see right here, price actually froze up for a second. So in between this candle and this candle here, price kind of froze, or the data froze, and then it just spiked down here. This means that the data didn't connect, Natasha. Shows that TradingView over here, their data just stopped for a little bit. So like the price was still moving, but this shows you that there was no data going to TradingView between this period right here. So it's not an actual gap. It's just, if you look on MC4, you can see the actual candle right here. This just shows that there was no data going to this broker within like that split second, or price just basically gapped below. So like price was right here, and then after a second, price just ended up right here. Now, what a weird market today. Trying to see if there's anything else that's happening. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on, but I'm trying to see if there's anything that, specifically would cause the market to move all crazy like this. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on. There's earnings being released. The Ukrainian war is still going on pretty heavily. COVID is coming back. I mean, Kanye West is getting escorted at Skechers. I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of stuff going on all over the world. US, outside the US, in the market in general, that could be causing, the market to be moving a little crazy. So I mean, we'll see what happens in the next couple minutes or so. But I mean, for the most part, we're pretty much just waiting for this to smoothen out, because it's just the market is moving a little too crazy right now for us to be taking any trades. And it's fine, because like a lot of the trades here would have been some flop. So I mean, I'd rather have the trade flop and let's not take it, rather than us hop into these risky trades. So let me go and mark up a couple of things here on the clean chart. Market opened right here at 630. Mark up 630, 7, and 8. I'm also going to mark up opening price right there. So you can see right here from the clean chart how messy the market's been, right? I mean, it might be a little hard to see on the markup chart, but over here on the mostly clean chart, you guys can see there's like literally no direction. Price faked out below. So market opened right here. It spiked up, came back below, faked out right here, came back up, faked out right here. And now it went on to full reversal, because price came down below here and now it's below opening price. So let's see where this goes. Next target price point is going to be this low right here. If this becomes a case where price doesn't successfully break below this low, then we actually have like a huge range right here. It's not really noticeable on the other chart, but you can see from this point right here, this is actually a really huge range. So the thing to look for is going to be price right here at this point. It's actually right next to it. So if price breaks below this point, it broke below, but it didn't close. If price actually closes below this point, then we might be in for a reversal. So a couple of things to look out for here would be if price breaks below, retest, and continues. If we get this right here, then this is probably what's going to play out, because we have so much liquidity sitting down here, right? But you can see from these recent candles that it's having a really hard time getting past it. So price is right below here and it's breaking it, but it's not actually closing below it. If it doesn't close below it, it's probably going to retrace right back up and stay within this range here. So just a couple things to pay attention to here. I mean, the market is still moving kind of crazy, so it's not really in a time where we want to take any of these trades. Also, the sessions is like right here as well. So you want to be very careful about these entries. There is a London high right here. There is an Asia high right here. And we'll see if price pushes back up. Two different scenarios right here. If price closes below, then we might be able to see this come down. If not, price might be coming back up from that point too. All right, so price is still at this area. Hasn't shot up, hasn't came below. We'll focus on this here. Here we are back to the other chart. It's right at the London high. See if there's anything over here. So I don't really see any updates right now. I mean, aside from Meta, if you guys saw Meta over here, there's a lot of memes on Meta. Yeah, Meta shares plunged 24% to the lowest since 2016. That's crazy. The crazy thing, a lot of people are going to buy the dip. And I think it's going to keep dropping. Yeah. So it says that plans for metaverse. So Mark Zuckerberg lost 9.4 billion so far this year. That's crazy. Yeah, Meta is not part of it's not part of US30, but it is part of NASDAQ. So I see the NASDAQ moving kind of crazy, but they're still somewhat intertwined. So like, even though Meta is not necessarily in US30, and you can see it here, if you guys go to the US30 index, you'll see that Meta is not on here, but a lot of these companies here are tied in with Meta. one way or another. Like if the company's not doing good, these certain companies are not going to do good as well. So we'll see. Anyways, back to the charts right here. Yeah, Dejan said, yeah, I'm getting beat by TikTok. It's crazy. I know, right? It is. I thought TikTok, well, you guys were probably around for a while when TikTok was like supposed to get shut down because there were ties with China, but they didn't. And now they're kind of taking over the social media space. It's crazy. All right, let me see if there's anything else here for us to follow along with. I don't think I see anything myself, but we will continue to follow along here. So this right here would technically be a high-low quick scalp. As you guys can see, the market is starting to smoothen out now, starting to slow down a bit, which is a good thing. This right here would be a high-low quick scalp, but it's right at the sessions. So we have a red momentum signal right here. We have price swing down. We have a high right here. We have a wick right here. So this would have been an entry for a high-low quick scalp if you decided to take this type of trade. But you can see that the market is moving a bit smoother. It's not kind of like choppy anymore. I mean, it's still choppy, but it's not blocky. It's not just bouncing up and down super quickly. Of course, price is right at the session, so you can't take the trade here. If price wasn't at the sessions, possible entry. However, we do have news price right here as well. And we also have opening price right here. So there's just a lot of red flags around this area. It's not a good area to be trading. London high, Asia high, news price, opening price, New York high right here. So there's a lot of stuff here going on that you probably don't want to mess with until price pushes away. So like for this right here, back up a little bit. In order for us to take any trades, we need price to push away from where it's currently at. So we need price to either push above here, or we need price to push below here. Once we get that, we could look for some possible entries, but at the moment, there's just nothing for us to take right now. Patrick over here with the breakout he took earlier, locked in a nice profit of 1,150. Nice work, Patrick. Solid work right there. Dejan said this is what Yellen looks like, a dog with a wig. She kind of does though. If the dog had a white wig on. I forgot who else mentioned it. I remember before someone was mentioning that she looks like a cartoon character, like this bird. Like I forgot what it was called, but someone was talking about that before. Everyone has something funny to say about Yellen because Yellen's usually not good for the market. She enforces a lot of regulations. So like Yellen and Powell are like on two opposite sides of the spectrum. Powell is usually good for economy because he's very optimistic. He always has good things to say. He's kind of similar to Trump, right? Whatever Trump said, it was good for the economy. It doesn't matter what was happening. We were going to a recession. We were in COVID. He always had something good to say. It's the same with Powell. Powell will say that, we're going to a recession, but it's not a big deal. It's not a real recession, stuff like that. While Yellen over here will say the opposite. She'll say, okay, we're in a recession, so we got to raise taxes. We have to tax certain people. We have to do certain things. And it's just not good for the economy because, she's usually attacking the rich, which are the people who are highly invested in the stock market. So we'll see what happens. I mean, she was supposed to speak, or she's going to speak right now, 7 o'clock. When she starts speaking, we'll come back and take a look. But at the moment, there's just nothing going on right now. Here we are at the clean chart. So as you can see right here, guys, I marked up the two scenarios, and this scenario didn't play out, right? This is what you guys need. Whenever you guys enter or you guys analyze the chart, always put up two scenarios, right? If price gets to a critical area like this right here, I circled it to the T. I literally marked it up right here. I said, this is the next area price needs to test. If it didn't break past it, it's going to pull back into the range, which is exactly what's happening right here. Price failed to break and close below it. And then now it's pushing right back up into the range. So just FYI. So we'll see where this plays out. I mean, you couldn't really see that it was in a big range until price broke past all of the lows over here. Now that it kind of blasted through the lows, it had established that price is really in a range. But looking over here on the markup chart, I mean, it doesn't matter where price is at. There's too many red flags here. This pink line here is news price. Blue line is opening price. Green line is the New York high. Red line is the London high. And the purple line down here is the Asia high. So, I mean, regardless, we wouldn't be able to take any trades around this area. And it's just a weird Thursday. Typically, stuff like this happens. Well, actually, no, I take that back. We've had a couple of Thursdays where the markets move like kind of weird like this. It moves weird like on Thursday, and then it moves smoother on a Friday, which I don't know. We can't really tell when that'll happen, but it does happen. So some more profits over here from Patricia. She said, maybe done with Yellen speaking. So Patricia over here locked in a total of 4,527, all wins, no losses. And she's pretty much just waiting because, as you know, she said right here, she might be done if Yellen starts speaking because she's going to cause the market to move a bit erratic, which could be a good thing. So just keep that in mind. When Yellen speaks, it could be a good thing or it could be a bad thing. It could be a good thing because she'll push price away from this area. So as you can see right here, I marked up this, like these two different scenarios, right? I marked up these scenarios where price will either go up or go down. Price right now is going sideways because nobody's trading right now. A lot of people are waiting for Yellen to speak. So they're doing the same thing we're doing. They're just sitting tight. And that's why price isn't going anywhere. When Yellen starts to speak, she can push price up or she can push price down. She says something good about the economy, price goes up. She says something bad, price goes down. My guess is that she's going to say some bad things about the economy because you're going to be highlighting Biden's team efforts on US manufacturing. So depending on that, I don't know what Biden said yesterday, but you know, it's going to have to do with the economy because what Biden talked about yesterday, which was actually, I mean, it wasn't this one right here, but it was kind of similar to this video here, which says Biden delivers remarks on Build Back Better economic recovery plan. It was basically what he talked about yesterday, right? He talked about the same thing. I mean, Biden's been saying the same thing over and over again for like the past couple of years. So we'll, I mean, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what she has to say about it. But my guess is that it's not going to be good. And if it's not good, price can break below, and then it'll be around this area, which is fine. If price comes below here, then that's fine because we have all these zones right here, and we can take these SR rejection scalps, or we can take some high-low quick scalps as well. But let's see, Yellen is still kind of late too. She's supposed to speak at 7. Still hasn't started. She's pulling a Biden right now. Hopefully she's not as late. If you guys remember yesterday, Biden was supposed to come on like an hour ago. And then that's why I took my loss yesterday because I forgot he was speaking. We were waiting for so long. And he still wasn't speaking until like an hour later. So I don't know if anyone actually waited for him to speak, but he, I mean, honestly, I don't know. Did he ever make it to the podium? I don't know if anyone was actually waiting or watching, but I didn't sit on long enough to wait for him to actually show up. He was supposed to show up at 7, and we were literally waiting until 8. He still didn't even show up. And the crazy thing is that he was at the White House speaking. Well, he wasn't at like some seminar. He was like actually at the White House speaking, and he never actually came. So here it goes. Price pushes up higher, which is fine too. We just need price to break away from this area. So if price could break away from this area right here, then we're solid, right? This is the area that we need price to be away from. Once it gets away from this area, then great. We can look for some buys. Price goes below, we can look for some sells. We just need to get out of this circle right here. So still nothing here, but price is pushing up. So this is a good thing. Now that price has gotten away from this area right here, price is now pushing up. If you go to the clean chart analysis right here, played out perfect, right? So when price was coming down right here, I was mentioning, price was going to come and touch this low. Once it touched low, it'll either correct back up into this range. It's just in a huge range now. So this big pink area right here, you can see it's a range. Price broke into this area this morning at 522. It's been pushing up until like right at this point, 636. And now it's just going back and forth. So we'll see where this goes, but we just don't see anything necessarily of value right here. So I'll clean this up in a little bit. I'll leave it up for now. But price is now back up. So market opened right here, and you can see there's definitely no direction in price. Market opened right here at 630, price pushed up, or price pushed down actually, faked out, pushed up, faked out, came down, faked out, and then pushed right back up right here. So a lot of back and forth movement within this area as price continues to, obviously move along. See. Some more profits over here from Jay. Jay just sent me his profits. So he marked this up right here as well on the US30. He actually took the buy. So he saw the markup right here that I marked up, the two different scenarios, and this lined up with the buy for him. So Jay over here took that. Currently up 1,965. Nice work, Jay. So great work following the movement and locking in some pretty solid profits. So I'm glad to see a lot of you guys here are taking trades based off the analysis and off your analysis too. I haven't taken any official trades myself. Obviously the market's moving kind of crazy and I'm very conservative with my moves, but I'm glad to see a lot of you guys here still following the analysis here and playing your own moves along the way. So great work right there, Jay. Locked in about 2,000. Nice, bro. All wins. And then we got some more profit over here from David. David's currently up 110 for the day. Nice work, David. Not bad. Looks like your profits are increasing by the day, David. So like yesterday you were up like 42. Day before that you were up like 16. Day before that you were up 21. Now you're up in the hundreds. So great work right there, David. Jenny over here as well. She said had the wrong lot size on stop loss and TP on the first breakout, but it hit. So Jenny over here actually took the breakout this morning as well, and she locked in a total profit of 4,788. Nice work, Jenny. So yeah, it looks like a lot of you guys here actually took the breakout this morning. I didn't take the breakout with you guys, but it looks like a lot of you guys here just took it off the analysis, and you locked in some good profit. So for today so far, you guys did pretty good. Rashida over here as well. She took, it looks like you took the, I don't know if this is the breakout, but I think it is. Looks like you took the breakout too, locked in 390 for the day. So pretty much all the profits that everyone locked in this morning is from the breakout. These are the profits from today. So Rashida up about 400, Jenny up almost 5,000 for the day, David up 100, Jay over here up 2,000. Patricia here up 4,500, Patrick up 1,100, Tasha over here up 1,300, Jean here up 21, and Maddie over here up 1,260. So, I mean, for the most part, a lot of you guys here are doing pretty good, which is solid. It doesn't matter how much profit you guys are making, as long as you guys are in profit for the day. I mean, that's solid, right? Your main goal here is to remain consistently in profit. And avoiding as many losses as possible. So for me today, I haven't had any trades, but I also haven't had any losses. So that's a good thing. I'd rather have no trades and no losses rather than having, a couple trades and losses and then being in the negative for the day, because it's not good when you guys are in a hole. It's difficult to climb out sometimes. All right, so I don't see anything else over here right now. I see where we're at. So where price is currently at right now, there's no high-low quick scalp right here. So I know you guys are probably looking at this as a high-low quick scalp entry. The trend meter down here is blue. So we do have a wick rejection, but we need the trend meter down here to be green in order to take this entry. So there's no high-low quick scalp right there. I mean, sorry, not a high-low quick scalp, SR rejection scalp. So right here, typically this would fall under the criteria. However, there's no trend meter here that's green. So this would not fit the criteria for a SR rejection scalp. In order for us to get a high-low quick scalp, we need a low here. We do have a low pending right here, but we can't take it if there's a sell signal. And we also can't take it if price comes down and touches the sessions right here as well. Gotcha. Yeah. So Rashida said she was looking at this SR rejection scalp, but she noticed that the trend meter is blue. So good thing that you spot that, Rashida, because if you took it, this would hit your stop loss, right? Because it didn't fit the criteria. So it wouldn't be an actual entry. But I know it kind of looks like it would have been one if the trend meter was green. All right. So we have a low right here. There's technically a high-low quick scalp right here, but I mean, it's kind of close to the session, so I'm not really looking to take it. But if you guys did take it right here, it kind of happened too fast too, so I would have totally missed it. So there was actually one right here, but the problem with this is that there was a pending sell signal here, and I thought this was going to close with the sell signal. It didn't close. However, if you took the trade here for a quick scalp, this would have been your full TP. Not sure if anyone caught it. This trade happened too quickly. It's just a bit of a tricky market today, guys. Because if you guys were looking at this red candle with me, there was actually a really strong sell signal right here. And then at the last couple of seconds, it actually disappeared. And then it provided a wick right here, which would have satisfied the criteria for a high-low quick scalp. So again, right here, this is rejecting off the structure. However, the trend meter is not green. So this does not meet the criteria for a SR rejection. All right, looks like price is pushing its way back up. All right, so price is on its way back up right here. So it's pushing right back up to where it was earlier. So huge drop from this point right here. From this point to down here, this dropped about 2,420 pips. This was just a huge fake out. As soon as this faked out, price corrected right back up to where it's supposed to go. If you guys remember from this morning, we had a bullish bias. So we were expecting price to go up anyways, as you can see right here. Let me check the sentiment to see if it's changed at all. It's previously 67% short. It is now at same thing. So the crazy thing about this right here is that I don't really see retail traders in the market. I see these big pushes in price, but all these big pushes are not from retail traders. The same retail traders who have been sitting at 67% short from this morning, they're still in the market. They haven't pulled out. They're just sitting in the market waiting. A lot of this back and forth movement right here is all based off, market makers and institutions trying to lure in some buyers or to lure in some sellers. But if you look at the number here, it's been at 67% for the past hour now, right? So now it's at 68. Some people are trying to cash the high. So with more people entering shorts right here, I think price will push up higher, and it's just going to stop people out. Whoever was in those shorts earlier, they should have just pulled their money right now. Or actually, it was at 67% short right here. So people would have lost money as price pushed up. And as price came down, they would have been recovering. They probably should have closed out of their positions at this point, but they ended up holding it. Now price is like way back up and they're back into massive drawdown for this number here. And you can see the number change. You guys saw it for like a few seconds ago, it was at 68%. It went back down to 67. What do you think happened to that 1% of traders? They just got stopped out right here because price pushed up about like 700 pips. So yeah, if your stop loss isn't more than 700 pips, that 1% of people who enter their shorts there just got stopped out. Price just spiked up pretty heavy. So I always find it interesting to look at this and see this number change, because that's where you can see a lot of retail traders getting in and out of the markets. And typically everyone's doing the same thing, right? So like, I know this is only one broker. Like this pulls data from IG, which is, it's a pretty big broker. So if they're trading in that direction, you know, odds are people in other brokers are doing the same thing. But here we go, as price pushes back up. Trend meter is green. So if this closes as a moderate green candle, this could be a possible entry for a SR rejection scalp. We got about 20 seconds left. Just gotta make sure the candle's not too big. All right, we get about 10 seconds. You just got to make sure that the body is not smaller than the top wick. And this is not going to be an entry. So no entry there. Wick on top is way too big. Damn, that would have been a good entry too. So if that would have closed properly, this would have went straight to TP, but it didn't. Wick on top is just way too big. Price was actually up here. So if it closed that up there, it would have been pretty good for an entry, but it's all good. It's got to wait for the next one. And it's a really tricky market today. It's kind of reminds me of like Trap Tuesday. I mean, I guess today could be considered Trap Thursday. If that's what you guys want to consider it. Let's see if there's anything else over here. All right, so there's no entries for us to take right now. Unfortunately, let's see some more profits over here from Scotty, but I'm glad to see a lot of you guys here still profiting. So Scotty over here just sent in his profits, total profit of 2,440 for the day. So Scotty's just taking a bunch of trades back and forth as price bounces around. Looks like his most recent trade over here was a buy and then a sell. So he's going both ways, you know, just watching price bounce around. Not too bad. Got Patricia over here as well. She said a little more. Now she's done. So she's done for the day. She's currently up 6,437. Nice work, Patricia. Solid wins over here. All wins and no losses. So doing pretty good. You actually caught that push to the upside. All right. So there's two different entries that I'm looking for right now. I'm looking for an SR rejection scalp. In order for us to take that, we need price to retrace down and bounce off the structure right here. If we get price come down a little bit and then reject off the structure, then we can get a buy here for an SR rejection scalp. However, if we don't get that, we can still look for a high-low quick scalp. All we need for that is we need a low to come up somewhere around here. Once that low comes up on the next candle, we're looking for a wick rejection. It doesn't have to be off the structure. It just has to be a wick rejection. So let's see where this goes. All right, still nothing for us to take right now. Okay, so we do have a low here. So this could be a possible entry for a high-low quick scalp. We got about 10 seconds left on this. So if this closes right here, the next candle, if we get a wick on it, possible high-low quick scalp. So no wick yet. Still no wick. Yeah, no wick. That would have been a full TP too. If there was a wick, we just need a small wick right there. I feel like the market's been playing with us like all day today. There's a lot of entries that we saw that could have been okay, and there's nothing here. This one literally had to push just a little bit, like on the next candle, just a little drop and then push up, and this would have shot right through to our TP. It's crazy. Like, do they know what we're doing? I feel like the market knows what we're doing. Every time we come up with something that works like really well, yeah, Madhu said MT4 shows a small wick. Oh, yeah, I know. I just saw it right now. That's why I was waiting for it on my side, Madhu. because I saw it on MT4 come down a little bit, and then I was like, okay, TradingView has to show up on here, but it didn't. So unfortunately, guys, we didn't have a trade here. This would have been such a good entry because this is exactly what we were waiting for. Same setup, right? Price came down, low right here. This one right here, we just need a small wick, like super small wick, and it would have literally blasted right through the TP with no drawdown. But I mean, it's all good. Now we got to wait again. But here's the good thing. The good thing is that we're seeing our trade still play out here. It didn't show up here on TradingView, but it did show up on MC4. There's a little wick on there. So that's a good sign. A good sign is that the strategies are still working perfectly fine. It's just that the market's been kind of wacky today. You're going to get days like this. So the thing with this is that you don't get discouraged, right? I see a lot of people get discouraged with certain strategies, and then they just stop applying it. And then as soon as you guys stop applying it, it starts to hit back to back to back to back. And I see it happen with a lot of people, specifically with here in K2 or Kodi Kai. I see a lot of people join K2 and then they have a really good streak. In the beginning, they win a lot of trades. And then for like 1 week, it's kind of slow. And there's like a couple trades and then they start to get discouraged. So they stop following what we're doing. And then they miss a bunch of trades. As soon as they miss a bunch of trades, they start to revenge trade because they want to catch up. And as soon as they revenge trade, they start blowing their accounts, right? So just keep that in mind. If you guys have a strategy you like, just stick to it. Especially if it's one that we apply here on the live session. If it's one of the ones that I apply on the live session, then we've been applying it for a long time. So like with Natasha, right? We talked about this during the mentoring session. Like you wanted to look at daily entries, but I was telling you that, you really like these high-low quick scalps and these SR rejections. So just focus on that because that's the way that you like to trade. And you've been doing better. So I mean, just looking at your profits for like the past couple of days now, or not even the days, the past couple of weeks, you've been doing really good. So you're killing it. You made like 1,300 today. You made a couple thousand yesterday. It's just rinse and repeat of the same process every morning. The main thing you guys have to do is have a routine. So like for me, I trade with you guys from 6:30 to 8, and then that's literally it. I try not to trade during Asia at all, because that's usually where I lose trades or if I get into something risky. But yeah, I mean, it's all about having that routine. And if you guys haven't, so like I listen to this book like maybe like once a month or like maybe once every couple of months. If you guys haven't listened to Trading in the Zone, I think you guys should, because I'm listening to it again right now. And it's a really, really good book. It'll help you really understand the way that we're trading. And it shows you that it's only $10. So if you guys can spare, I mean, like really, if you guys can spare like $10, this book is like $10. The audiobook is better. I recommend getting the audiobook. Just listen to this book at least once a month. Like if your trading starts to get a little bad, listen to this book right here. I'm listening to it right now because like I'm starting to get FOMO, or I've been getting FOMO a bit lately. You guys saw my trades this week. Like yesterday, I screwed up. I took a trade when Biden was speaking. And then on like Monday or Tuesday, I kind of screwed up on a trade too. It keeps you on point because it teaches you exactly. It doesn't teach you how to trade. Like it doesn't show you any strategy, but it shows you how to master your trade psychology. So if you guys haven't read that book, I do recommend reading it. It's called Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas. I mean, you guys could read it, but I prefer listening to the audiobook. Oh, thanks, Peter. So Peter actually just posted the link right here on YouTube. Yeah, and it's completely free, right? So I do recommend you guys listen to this. It's super, super good book. Dang, Yellen still isn't on the mic. It's like 7:24. Man, Yellen is she's pulling a Biden. She still isn't at the podium. So she's not there. Yeah, if you guys are here in the Zoom, look at the Zoom chat. Peter just posted the free link for the link for the free audiobook. The only problem with the audiobook here is that I don't know if it saves your location, but when I was broke like years ago, right? When I was broke years ago, I was listening to the same audiobook on YouTube too. And then now I can afford it. So I just buy the book. And it's easier because it saves your position in the book. But Yeah, I mean, that's really what it is, guys. It's all trade psychology. You guys can apply whatever strategy you want, whether it be one of my strategies, whether it be your own strategy. Main thing is you just have to get your trade psychology on point. Back to the chart over here. Don't worry, we're not missing anything. I started talking around this point right here. There's no entries. We have another low that's coming up right here, but there's a sell signal. So we can't take any more buys at this point. There's just no entries that came up within the last 5 minutes or so. Yeah, Maddie said I might be done early today. I already made 1%, just gonna monitor. Yeah, no, same here, Maddie. I'm still looking for an entry here. Like typically our entries for the week have been coming a little later, so it's fine. And obviously we'll just see where this goes. I think for the past couple of days, our entries have been coming like towards the end of like the 7 o'clock hour, around like 7:45, 7:30, around there. It's only 7:26, so we still have about like 30 minutes until then, but we just don't have it yet. So we got another buy signal right here. What we're looking for is a high-low quick scalp. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat. Otherwise, I mean, we're still looking for entries here. We just don't have anything to take at the moment. I'm gonna clean up this clean chart over here so that you guys can see it a bit better. All right, so prices, I mean, it broke out of the range. So it broke out of the big range, and now it's just in another range right here. There just is no direction in the market at the moment. I mean, we're still looking for high-low quick scalps if we can find them. We're also looking for some SR rejections, but at the moment, we just don't see anything right now. Yeah, there's nothing at the moment. All right. What a frustrating market. I mean, this whole week's been kind of iffy. If you guys remember from Monday, I did mention that this week's typically going to be like, there's like two ways that this market could play out for the last week of each month. Usually the last week of each month, it's either going to be good or it's going to be bad. If the week's bad, typically NFP is going to be good. If the week's good, NFP is probably going to be bad. So just keep that in mind. This week's kind of been choppy back and forth. So what I'm anticipating is that next week is going to be a lot better NFP. It's just a typical trend. I mean, we've been trading live for like how many years now? I think we've been trading live for about like 4 or 5 years now. So say 5 years times 12, because we've been trading every month. So we basically traded about 60 NFPs together. It's a lot of NFPs. And also last weeks of each month. So we basically traded this type of market about 60 times live. And that's the reason why we know how the market moves, the week before NFP or NFP, because these are typically like the most manipulated weeks. It's generally when a lot of earnings get released around this time. So this week there was actually a lot of earnings that were released. So it's kind of why prices all over the place. There's also a lot of other stuff going on as well. But I'm still surprised that that Yellen ever came on the mic today. It's kind of like what happened yesterday. If you guys remember yesterday, we took a trade earlier, like early around 7 o'clock. We hit our TP. And then what happened was like later on in the day, we were waiting for Biden to speak because Biden was supposed to speak. He never spoke. And the market started getting kind of weird around our entry point. It's probably the same here with Yellen. The market's kind of slow right now because a lot of people are still waiting for Yellen to speak. I mean, she's 30 minutes late already. I don't know if she's going to speak at all. But we'll see. And we also have news coming up right here. Thanks, Peter, for the heads up. So we got some low impact news coming up right here at 7:30. Yeah, Dejan said I do have a trading issue, so I'm gonna listen to that book after the session. Yeah, no, the book's gonna help you a lot. The guy that wrote that book, Mark Douglas, what he does is he's basically a trade psychology coach. So a lot of hedge funds, a lot of banks, a lot of like bankers and stuff, they hire that guy that wrote the book, Mark Douglas, and he basically talks to like traders to get their mind right, because he teaches them how to, control their trade psychology, control their revenge trading, over trading, stuff like that. So if you guys have problems with revenge trading, over trading, or just following a strategy, um, that book will help you a lot, because he'll basically he'll tell you exactly what he tells his clients. And he's like a world renowned, um, I guess, trade psychologist. I don't know. Let me see if I can find any info on him. Yeah, if you guys ever want to look up Mark Douglas, he's like the king of like trade psychology. I didn't realize he passed away. He just passed away in 2015. Um, but yeah, he was like one of the biggest guys to train, like the best traders in the world, uh, to trade like systematically. All right, so we have a news channel right here. This is the 7:30 US news. News was positive. So there's news right there, but I mean, it's still not much going on right here. Price continues to move along. Yeah, exactly. Patrick said that book in the show Billions, especially first season, will give you insight into trader psychology. Yeah, and I agree with you too, Patrick, 100%. Yeah, definitely that book, the book, and that show's really good. Um, Billions, yeah, Billion. I think Billions is one that has the girl that works as the trade psychologist, right? Patrick. I'm trying not to mix up the shows because there's another show I was watching. But yeah, I think in that show, Billions, there's actually they're traders there, and then they have this one person who's like they're in house trade psychologist. Yeah, Wendy, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, that'll give you guys an insight as to like what a lot of these big hedge funds do. Like whenever their traders start to screw up and they start to lose money, they have to go and talk to the trade psychologist. And that's like one of the biggest keys, because the hedge funds will teach you the strategies, like they'll teach you how to trade, but the problem is a lot of people have problems following the strategies. Same with us here at like K2, right? uh yeah, Patrick said my fiance won't let me have a Wendy. Don't blame him. If you guys have watched the show's pretty good. Billions. It's they go hand in hand. All right, so there's not really much going on here, guys. Price is still pushing up, so we're looking for some high-low quick scalps. I mean, price is away from the zones now, so it doesn't look like we're going to have any SR rejections. So yeah, I'm not expecting any SR rejection entries. The reason for that is because the zone is down here, and we have news price right here. So we got a couple of red flags right here with regard to these two. So the main thing we can really look for is going to be the high-low quick scalps. We just need price to be away from this news price right here. So I need price to push up a little bit higher. This is kind of what I need to happen in order for me to take this type of entry here. So like price, I need price to push up a bit higher, come down and shoot up from here. So this is what the setup that I'm looking for right now, right? I'm looking for price to push up a little bit, come down. So establish a high here, establish a low right here. Once it establishes its low, this is where I'll take my buy position right there. And then I'll catch as it spikes up and hits my TP. So definitely what I'm looking for. Price is currently at the news price coming down for the retest. This might be the bounce here. This price continues to move long. So unfortunately, this low right here is at news price. This would technically be our low that we're looking for to take our high-low quick scalp, but we're not going to be able to take it from this point because it's right at news price. Yeah, this market today is just not the market for us. It's there was a lot of red flags down here, so we couldn't take any trades. Price pushed above. These candles were too big. And then right here, same thing. See, Maddie said his target price is 32,529. That's pretty high, Maddie. Actually, it's not that high. It looks pretty high. Yeah. So Maddie said if it continues to push up bullish, his target price point is gonna be 32,529. That's where his 4-hour supply is up top. Yeah, no, I could see that. Let's look at the 10-minute real quick. So the 10-minute over here actually does not have any entries. So let me see. So no daily entries off here, and no snipe entries. Nothing here off the 5. I mean, technically the 5 would have came up right here. Candle's too big though, so I probably would have skipped it, but this would have been the daily entry for the 5-minute time frame. Right there. Not bad. This right here, 3-hour or 3-minute time frame. So 5-minute full TP off the daily if you decided to take it. And then right here as well on the this one's kind of tricky because this is the opening candle right here at 6:30. I mean, technically you could have taken this one too if you wanted to, and it also would have been a full TP right there. So I don't take these trades here. I know some of you guys do. I don't know if Deswell's in here. I know Deswell likes to take this 3-minute daily. But yeah, this right here, full TP, 5-minute full TP, 10-minute, there's nothing on there yet. 1 minute over here, still nothing for us to take. So here goes, price pushes back down. I don't think sentiment has changed that much. Let's take a look at retail sentiment. Retail sentiment is actually higher. So now it's at 70% short. So with that said, I think price is going to keep pushing up even higher. The sentiment is super high. So if people are trying to cash the top, I think market's going to do the opposite and continue pushing up higher. Yeah, we have a very strong bullish bias. So what I see happening right here is I see some sort of retracement. This is just they're just luring in some more sellers at this point. So I think price will kind of drop down a little bit, lure in some sellers, and then from this point, price will just skyrocket, right back up. So we'll have to wait and see where this goes. Maddie said 69% short, so we could drop a bit, draw some more sellers and shoot up. Yeah, exactly, Maddie. That's kind of what I'm looking for too. If you guys can see here in the Zoom chat, Maddie just mentioned that as well. He pretty much just confirmed my analysis. With the sentiment so high, we're expecting price to maybe come down a little bit to lure in some more sellers. And then as they lure in more sellers, because people will think that price is coming down, it's just going to fake out and come back up. This is kind of what we saw right here play out. Price pushed up, it came back down to lure in sellers, and then now it's going to shoot all the way back up to stop out all of those sellers. I mean, price might drop down a little more. Typically what happens here is, so I'll show you what typically happens. So you can see that the low was like right here. This is the low point, right? So what happens with a lot of retail traders, and I only know this because I fell for this trap a lot of times too. Price will push up, it'll come back for the retest, comes back up, comes back for a triple bottom. So people think right here is a triple bottom, right? And they think price is going to break below. this is kind of what everyone is looking for. They're looking for price to come down from this point, retest and drop further, right? That's basically what everybody's looking for. You can see right here that the candle actually closed below. So I'm sure that's what a lot of people were thinking was going to happen. However, I think this is a fake out. Instead of this actually happening, I think price would have came down to here, faked out, but actually shot up higher like this. Right. I mean, but we'll see. I mean, price is still right there. You guys can see I drew the structure right there. I didn't really draw anything special. I just drew a structure right here where this low is at, because people are typically looking for price to break below here. So what might happen is we might get another fake out right here. You can see the fake out already played out right there, right? Price faked out, came back up, and then it's going to come back below again for another fake out right here. And then when it does that, it's going to shoot right back up and stop everybody out, because from this point to here, this is almost 1,000 pips. If your stop loss isn't that big, it's really easy to get stopped out. Yeah, no, Maddie said he thinks it's going to go up to close below and just shoot up. He said there's just too many scenarios right now. Yeah. And I agree with you too, Maddie. There's just too many scenarios that can play out. But yeah, just like I said, I didn't draw anything special here. I just drew this. I think this is going to be another fake out. Price will just fake it around this area. Eventually, it's just going to pull back up. Let's see here. It might not happen here, but eventually I think it will happen. And price will just make its way right back up. And there he goes. Price just keeps bouncing around. So I personally wouldn't recommend looking for any sells right now, guys. I know some of you guys might be tempted to take some sells, but I think this is going to be a huge, huge fake out to stop people out, because the sentiment here is just too high. It's back to 70 right there. Fundamentals are still very high right now. They're up 400 points. So, and Yellen here still hasn't made it to the mic. I don't think she's going to speak today, guys. She was supposed to speak at 7 o'clock. She just never came up. So she was scheduled for 7 o'clock. It's now 7:42. So I wouldn't count on her speaking, or I don't know. She might be doing the same thing Biden did yesterday. She might just randomly pop up at the very last minute. So, all right, guys, if you guys have any questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat. I'm here to help you guys out with whatever you guys need help with. Just with where price is currently at, there's no entries for me to take. In order for me to take an SR rejection, I need a buy signal. We have no buy signal. In order for us to take a high-low quick scalp, we also need a buy signal, which we don't have right now. So we're looking for entries here. There's another gap in price right here, if you guys can see. Not a real gap, but just a data gap right there. Or trading view. Dejan over here also mentioned that, oh no, he's talking about something else. Dejan said her Webull app is lagging, so she can't place her insider trades before going up on the podium. Exactly. All right, so we'll see where this goes. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Otherwise, give me a few moments, guys. I'm gonna step away for just 1 second, and I'll be right back. All right, guys, I'm back. So let's see. Still nothing. Stepped away for a few minutes and there's still nothing going on. No buy signal. So what we're looking for right here, guys, is we're looking for a buy signal. In order for us to have a SR rejection scalp, we have the trend meter down here, which is already green. So this is fine. This fits the criteria. The next thing we need is a buy signal to confirm that we're trading in the direction of momentum. So I'll put the requirements here for the SR rejection. So we're looking for a wick rejection off structure. We are confirming the direction of trend. Trend meter down here is green. Third, we're confirming the direction of momentum. So the last requirement to this strategy here is a bullish momentum signal, right? That's going to be the main thing. So that's what we need for a SR rejection entry. And same thing for the high-low quick scalp. So we got a pending buy signal right there, which is great. It's going to fit the criteria. Next thing that we need here is going to be the high-low quick scalp. So for both requirements, we need a bullish momentum signal. And until we get that, we can't take any entries. And it's just going to be a matter of, when and where that happens. So unfortunately, no entries right now. If there's any questions or you guys want me to cover anything, just feel free to let me know. Just a reminder, if you guys haven't been attending the mentoring sessions, it'd be highly recommend that you guys do, because this is where we cover all these strategies in detail. I know we don't have the requirements up on the course for the high-low quick scalp. Only reason for that is because we're still testing the strategy, but I will be revamping the course. So if you guys have been on the course before, you guys have seen how it's broken down. I'm going to leave it how it is, but I'm going to put something on top, which is basically going to be like the new way that I'm going to be teaching people how to trade. It's basically going to be like a masterclass style where I'm going to be explaining and detailing how to follow these specific strategies and only these strategies. You guys will have access to all the old strategies, but for the most part, we're going to be focused on the four main strategies here, which I forgot if I saved it. I think I saved it here. Yeah. So these are the main strategies that we apply. There's really just three different types of market conditions here. I'm going to go show you guys this, or I could show them here actually. So for example, right here, you see how price is heavily trending around this area, or price is pushing up super heavy. For something like this, you're going to apply two different strategies, or three different strategies: the variation V1, V1 continuation, and the high-low quick scalp. These three strategies are meant for heavy trending markets and moderate trending markets. When prices trend ranging, like how it is right here, you can see price is no longer trending, right? So price was, and let me show you over on the clean chart, it's probably easier. I'll just take this off just to show you guys a little better. So you guys can see right here. Because I think this is going to be our plan moving forward. Since I don't really trade intraday anymore, there's no reason for me to really teach that stuff in detail. If you guys do need help and you want me to teach you intraday trading or swing trading, I can do that, but I don't trade it myself. So I don't really like teaching stuff that I don't necessarily apply on the daily. But basically, let's refresh this real quick. So basically, when market is ranging like this right here, this is when you would apply the ranging consolidating strategies, right? So I'm basically going to focus on teaching these four strategies here, because this is really all you need to really succeed in trading if you want to scalp with us during these morning sessions. So like when market's moving like this, you're going to apply the SR rejection scalp. That's kind of what we're looking for here, but we don't have a buy signal, so we can't take that yet. For heavily trending markets, so when the market is trending super heavy, like this right here, I mean even higher, like this right here, you'll be applying – these two strategies right here, right? Heavy trending markets, you're applying the variation V1 continuation, and high low quick scalp. Like I could just pull up like quick entries right here, if we could find any. So like, for example, right here, I'll mark up all the entries that we could have applied using these two strategies. There is one right here, internal momentum. There's one right there. There's one right there. There is see, V1s, another one right there. And these are all full TPs. I can just eyeball it and see where price is going. There's it looks like a V1 right there. Let's see, nothing right here. Nothing right there. And that's about it. So as you guys can see right here, if you find a heavy trending market like this and you apply these strategies right here, about 1, 2, 3, 4 wins right here. They don't come up as often. This is pre-market, so the market wasn't moving as smoothly. But this would have been possible entry for this strategy. So like, this is why I'm going to focus on these strategies here, because realistically, if you can identify market structure, which is not too hard, and I'll show you how to identify market structure as well, this will be the main things that you have to focus on. I feel like there's too many strategies here and a lot of people get confused with what to apply and what to focus on. So I pretty much narrowed it down to these 4 strategies, which you can apply during all types of market conditions: heavy trending market conditions, ranging consolidating market conditions, and moderately trending market conditions as well. So yeah, once that's all done, I'll let you guys know. But for the most part, we'll continue following along. So there's a possible SR rejection scalp right here. Thanks, Pat, for giving us that heads up. We just need it to close as a moderate green candle. We also got to make sure the candle is not too big. Okay, so this is as far as it can go. Anything bigger than this, and it's going to be too big for entry. Got about 20 seconds left on the candle. At the last 10 seconds, if it doesn't look solid, we're just going to skip it, unfortunately. We're 15 seconds in. The candle looks like it may be a little too big, but we'll see 10 seconds in right here. See how it closes. Next couple seconds. And it looks like an entry for an SR scalp right there. So start here. Just here goes, price pushes up. Running on. That zone right here as well. Just to the right. The volatility is like super low right now. I think sentiment's still around that point. Let's see, sentiment is currently, it is currently at 68% short. Oh man, what's going on right now? So I want to reanalyze this trade to see if I missed anything. No, everything lines up. Trend meter down there was green. Rejection right there off the structure. Volatility kind of died down a bit. I mean, I'm still in the trade right now. And I'm gonna hit my stop loss. It's all good. I don't know. Today's market was just kind of all over the place. So I got to eat that loss right there. And there he goes. It starts to spike back up. So BS. I wouldn't be surprised if this spikes up and hits TP. It literally just triggered my stop loss too. I don't know if anyone's still in the position, but it literally came down, just like tapped the stop loss, and then it came right back up. Today's market is just kind of all over the place. I mean, it's all good. You can't let like little losses like this kind of hold you back. It looked like a good entry though. Everything kind of lined up. Yeah, I hit my stop loss too. It's all good. I mean, this whole day today has been kind of a weird market. So I should have been a little more aware of this possibly happening, but it's all good. Yeah, I just want to look back and see if I missed anything. So the sentiment over here was still very strong for a buy, 68% short. Fundamentals, I'm just gonna go reanalyze everything, make sure I didn't miss anything or if there's any mistakes made. The thing that you guys want to keep in mind is that you're always going to run into losses every so often, right? There's no 100% strategy. This right here was 426 or 464 bullish. So everything here pretty much lined up. Let's see the trend on the 10-minute. Bullish, 15-minute, bullish, 30-minute, bullish, 1 hour, bullish, 240. 4-hour bullish. So everything here pretty much lined up. I mean, everything should have been okay. I don't know. Price came down, triggered my stop loss, and then it came right back up. So I don't know if Yellen started speaking. Okay, so Yellen is still speaking. This is the same problem that happened yesterday with Biden. She was supposed to speak at 7 o'clock. She's an hour late. She's going to speak now in about 2 minutes. So, this might have been what screwed up our trade, but I mean, whatever it is, what it is. Let me send the link over here in the group. Yeah, she's going to start speaking again. And this is the same shit that happened yesterday. Super annoying, but it's all good. Yeah, this is the same. So yesterday, this is the same thing what happened with Biden. He was going to speak like middle of the session, and then he just kept like not showing up. And I don't know if he ever showed up, but when we took the trade yesterday, same situation where the market started moving kind of weird as soon as we made our entry, and then it hit our stop loss. But it's all good. I'm gonna put a loss here so that we can follow along with it. So let's see. Stop loss hit on this SR rejection scalp during live session. Yellen speech. Back on market movement. Switch back an hour. Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing that happened yesterday. I didn't even bother to take a look at whether and I'm posting the loss there for transparency, guys, right? So I'm not going to hide any losses here. I mean, we're going to have losses every so often, but they don't happen too often. This week has just kind of been a bit of a tricky week. We had the same issue happen yesterday with Biden. Biden was supposed to speak at yeah, and Patricia said almost same time too. It's exactly around the same time. This is the same time we had the loss yesterday. And again, Yellen is still not there. She was supposed to speak at 7. She didn't show for an hour. They moved it back to 8 o'clock. She still isn't there. I mean, I don't know. It same problem as the other day. So like same with this one right here. So you can see the same time this entry came up. This entry came up at 7:54 yesterday. The stop loss hit on this quick scalp high low on the live. Because Biden's speech came up. So this is the same thing that happened yesterday. And then it happened again today at 7:50, around the same time, 7:55. So it's all good. I mean, there's always going to be outside factors that are going to affect the market. I think I'm at about break even for the week, so it's not a huge deal on my end. But it does suck, but it's all good. Let me see if there's anything else right here as we continue on. I mean, it's 8 o'clock already, so I think I might just call it a day. I'll eat that loss, move on to tomorrow, hopefully make a couple wins tomorrow to make up for it. But I'm at about break even for this week. I had a win on Monday, win on Tuesday, win on Wednesday, one loss Wednesday. And then today I have one loss as well. So it kind of just balanced out my trades for the week, which is not too bad. And then, I mean, whatever, we just got to move on for the next trading day. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat. Otherwise, it's 8 o'clock. So it's about our threshold right now to call it a day. And we will just continue on with this tomorrow. So let's see. Alexander said, I think it was just a fake out to upside since it's dumped right after. Yeah, no, and I agree too, Alexander. Well, with this right here, I think this move here was based off like what people are anticipating for Yellen to discuss, because Yellen over here typically makes the market drop, right? So she's speaking, or she's supposed to speak right now at 8 o'clock. And I think a lot of people who are just waiting start to bet in the market, right? So a lot of people just want to bet in the market and expect her to say something to cause, market to drop, which is why a lot of people are just holding off. And then right here, this big spike down happened because she was supposed to speak at 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock is like around this time right here. So, I mean, if you put 2 and 2 together, like for example, right here, you can see where 8 o'clock's at. You can see people started to sell off around this area right here, like 5 minutes before. So a bunch of people just started putting in their sell orders around this area. So here's 8 o'clock. So about like 10 minutes before, people start to just stack in their sell orders because Yellen is scheduled to talk right here at 8 o'clock. A lot of people are looking for the same thing. A lot of people want to gamble in the market and wait for someone to speak. Like if Powell is speaking, people put in a bunch of buy orders. If Yellen is speaking, a bunch of people put in some sell orders. What I could see happening here is I think this spike down happened because you see where the low is at this point right here, or I can just draw a zone. So you can see where this low is at right here, right? And I only know this because I used to do this myself. So when I knew price was going to come down, what I do is I have a sell stops placed right here, right? There's like a huge area of sell stops right here. Like a bunch of people just are waiting for price to drop. So as soon as price does drop to that point, the sell stops get triggered and then it pushes price down. It's like a liquidity push because all those pending sell orders get filled. So that's kind of what I saw happen right there. I mean, Yellen she hasn't spoken yet. So it said 7 o'clock earlier. Now it's 8 o'clock. But it's the same. I fell for the same trap that I fell in yesterday for Biden. So I think as of that, guys, I'm gonna leave it at that. And I'm just gonna call it a day. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to reach out and we can pick back up tomorrow. Otherwise, I think this is it for the day. I'm not gonna revenge trade my way into another possible loss, because I think that would be the case here. If I decided to keep trading here after 8, I'm probably going to look for another opportunity to make the loss back. But I think it's probably best to just sit out the market because the market's been moving weird all day today. And I mean, just week in general. So, all right, guys, I think that's it for today. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. You guys can email me at sean@kodikaitrades.com, or you guys can message me on Telegram. Otherwise, we'll be back here tomorrow, same place, same time, for the next live session as we continue on with this trading week and as we close it out for the month of October. So I think that's about it, guys. If you guys have anything to cover, feel free to let me know. Otherwise, we will be back here tomorrow at the same time, 6:20 a.m. So, all right, guys, have a great rest of your morning, and I will see you guys.